And all right, we're live.
All right. Kateri, you're good? Excellent. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We'll open the Town of East Greenbush Zoning Board of Appeals meeting of March 23rd, 2021. We'll call the meeting to order, starting with an introduction of board members. Due to Zoom, I'll go around the window. Tom Hickey. Present.
Present.
Scott Stravell.
I waved.
Present.
Bob Seward.
Hello.
Matt Ostagai.
Good evening.
We also have our zoning attorney, Bill Hesney, our secretary, Allison Lovely, our court stenographer, Kateri Radigan, and also our director of planning and zoning, Adam Yagelski, present. I will note that this is our first official meeting as a 5-member board. Town board did pass the resolution on March 17, reconstituting the board as a 5-member board rather than the previous 7. So therefore, going forward, it will take a majority vote of 3 of the 5 members, whether or not we have quorum. Well, we have to have a quorum, but depending on whether we have 3, 4, or 5 present, it will take 3 votes to carry any motion. So I'll go over. Actually, Carly from AJ Signs is here. I think you're familiar with our process, but to review why we're here tonight, an applicant for a variance is being afforded a public hearing to appeal the decision of the code enforcement officer. The legal criteria used by the board in determining the disposition of the appeal is defined by state law, is documented in the comprehensive zoning law, and was provided to the applicant at the time of their application. Based on this guidance, the applicant is expected to present his or her case to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and then the public will be afforded an opportunity to comment on the application. We request all comments and questions be addressed to the board and not directly to the applicant. The board will then review the materials submitted as well as the testimony presented at this hearing by both the applicant and the public. Will either determine the disposition of the appeal by a majority vote tonight or table the public hearing to a future date. As per town code, any member of the public wishing to speak today shall not be required to disclose his or her name, address, or any other contact related information. They just switched documents. We will open public hearing number 2021-02, the appeal of Rensselaer County Plaza Association, care of Nigro Companies, 20 Corporate Woods Boulevard, Albany, New York, 12211. The applicant proposes to install a 95 square foot facade mounted sign on the east elevation. The review of the proposed work will not comply with the following provisions of the town zoning law. Section 3.3.2 A-B-3, the maximum shall be 24 square feet. Therefore, the proposed action requires an area variance for the property located at 279 Troy Road, East Greenbush, New York, tax map number 144-4-42.1. Pursuant to executive order number 202.1, issued by Governor Cuomo on March 12, 2020, and advisories issued by federal, state, and local officials related to the COVID virus, the zoning board will convene the public hearing remotely via Zoom. The meeting will also be live streamed on the town's YouTube channel. With that, I'll go through a couple of the documents that we do have, including the referral from Rensselaer County. And after having carefully reviewed the information submitted as part of the subject referral, the Bureau of Economic Development and Planning has determined that the proposal does not have a major impact on county plans and that local consideration shall prevail. We also have a planning board recommendation dated March 18th, 2021, where a motion was made by Chairman Maston as follows. The planning board makes a negative recommendation on the sign for the Grapes and Grains in the Walmart Plaza. We have the attached detailed report by John Conway for further details. Motion was seconded by John Conway and motion carried by a 6-0 vote. So with that intro, I will turn it over to Carly. If you could address the application and ideally the criteria for the area variance and why you're requesting the variance. Thank you.
Sure. Are you able to see the signage in front of you? Do you have that with you guys?
We do have the packet. Allison, you're not at your desk to do it remotely, correct?
Is it helpful for me to share the screen with you?
Yeah, if you wish, that would be good.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I can share the screen with you guys. It does say host disabled participant screen sharing.
Carly, I'll make you a co-host here for the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
So we're looking to basically replace the existing signage that Grapes and Grains has now. They do have channel letters that are approximately the same size that we're proposing. My customer and the owner, Jamie Matzendorf, he has been there for a while. He put his sign up, he told me about 20 years ago. And then within the 20 years, we have redone the code. So basically he has a new logo. He doesn't have a place on the pylon sign. So he's basically looking to update his signage and replace it with something that is a directional aid for drivers to locate him in the busy plaza. Let me try to share my screen here for you guys. All right. Can we see that?
I can.
Yes. Yep.
Perfect. Does anyone have any initial questions?
If you just want to go through the proposal first, and we'll come back to it.
Sure. So basically, like I said, we're looking to replace the existing signage with some other channel letters. We're proposing that the channel letters are white. They are internally lit with LEDs. The logo that you see is technically called an encapsulation, which is also internally illuminated with LEDs and has a high performance vinyl face, which is made out of polycarbonate, which is also, similar to acrylic. They will be mounted on a raceway like some of the other signage located in the plaza. The raceway will be painted to match the brick so you don't see it. The raceway does hold the wires that provide illumination to the sign. And the overall, it's about 19 feet, 19.6 feet wide and 4.8 feet in height. So it does fit the sign band that is provided there on the building.
Carly, do you have information on the letter heights of the surrounding signs?
On the surrounding signs, I do not. I do believe that there is a spectrum now to the right of the plaza. I also know that AJ Signs did the St. Peter's signs that are in the plaza, which are pretty large. But I do not have the letter height on the surrounding signs.
Charlie, what about to the existing sign that's there? How does this compare? I know you probably don't have an overlay, but just relatively speaking.
We did have our team go out and survey the sign, and I was told that the letters are approximately the same height. The letters we're proposing are 26.5 inches in height. And from our survey team, they said they were between 24 and 26 inches.
I'm just thinking square foot. So this is 95, relatively speaking, right? Or 96.
Yep, 95.
And do the math. I'm just going off what was in the write-up. What's the existing one that's there today? Similar? Do we know? Just doing math? I'm looking for my calculator, sorry. I guess we don't.
I personally don't know the square footage of the existing sign.
Okay.
The total.
Carly, there was a mention of the sign that was there originally was larger than it changed. Can you maybe explain that how that kind of went through the years for us? Or do you have
Sure.
the?
Yeah, my customer Jamie told me that he put a sign up about 20 years ago, when apparently 20 years ago you were allowed a much bigger sign. Um, so he's had it for 20 years. The sign it's starting to peel, like the top says grapes and grains, and it is peeling. So basically, we wanted to give it a new look, along with his new logo. And then he told me that he was having trouble getting a new sign because he's only allowed 24 square feet, and that makes it very small in the busy plaza to drivers that are looking for him.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Carly, the name of the business itself is Grapes and Grains Wine and Spirits. That's the official name.
Yes.
And Carly, I'm assuming that this sign essentially maximizes the area that's there today in terms of the size, fits it just as large as it gets to fit that area. Is that kind of what you guys have designed?
Yeah, we try to design things that are tasteful and that also fit the facade and the look of the building. So that's kind of what we did. It does look like it's right in line with, I believe it's Hollywood Nails. That's next door. It looks to me like it would be approximately the same height as that sign.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we do try to design a sign that fits within the realm. We did design a sign that was within code and it was very small on the building. So in talking with Jamie, he did decide that he was willing to go for the variance because he thinks it's very important.
I mean, this looks like it fits between the columns. It looks like it fits between the two gray set of bricks that are there. Carly, do you have that other picture that you had up initially, just so I can visualize again what the other signs look like across the front?
Yes.
You shared one initially, sorry.
No, you're good. Just give me 1 second here.
Might have even been from Google Street View or something, but.
John Conway's got a perspective of the facade of the plaza too, in his detailed planning board report.
Let's see here. Is that helpful?
Yeah, that's the one I remember seeing. So that's the sign that's there today.
Yep. And I believe this is now a Spectrum where it says Metro Mattress.
Yes. Yep.
I would agree. Yep.
The
Okay.
existing sign actually projects wider than the two brick columns.
Yeah, the wines and liquor does go wider than what's being proposed.
It's a catch-22 with the name being as long as it is, creates a problem trying to fit it all letter size, but it also creates a problem trying to abbreviate. Grapes and Grains doesn't naturally tell you what it is, and just leaving wines and liquors up there is not a great image either on the plaza.
I think that's why we lean towards spirits. I think it's a more of a friendly word
Yeah.
versus liquor. But yeah, he thought it was important to put his new logo up there as well. You know, and that's good branding and recognition across the board, marketing wise. But yeah, I do think it's important. And I do think it would improve the look of the plaza a little bit because the sign is a little bit outdated. And if you get really close to it, it is peeling a little bit. So I think it would, I think it would look nice there. but that's my personal opinion.
And everything there is lit right now, I think, right? I think.
You mean channel lighting? and
Yeah,
letters?
I'm just trying to think. Hollywood Nails, when I go by there at night, everything's lit. These are all lighted signs. So that's not a difference.
Yep, I know the St. Peter's ones are box signs. And those are also internally lit with LEDs. And then it looks to me like everything else is channel letters. I'm not quite sure if the Spectrum sign is halo lit or channel letter, front lit.
I'm struggling with the fact that we don't know any of the other square footage of the previous sign or any of the surrounding signs.
I can get that for you if you'd like.
My opinion is that I think that that's probably really relevant information in order to make this decision, is to have that information and comparing to how big, not how much bigger we're making it than code, but how much bigger we're making it than existing and how it is in comparison to the other signs around it.
I agree, Tom. Totally agree, because it looks like the sign we have there now is obviously probably what we would call a pre-existing non-conforming. Wouldn't you agree, Jeff?
Correct.
So, we've had these kind of instances before where we act more favorably when, even though it's still going to be non-conforming, is it less non-conforming than the current existing? That kind of shows us a movement towards compliance to the current zoning.
Yeah, knowing the height of the nails lettering and the spectrum lettering would help rein it into what is an appropriate size so that it's in scale. One of the criteria we keep trying for with these plazas is a more consistent approach with the lettering. And Carly, I think you indicated you're kind of doing that with the channelized white letters,
Right.
making them match and blend a little bit better with surrounding businesses. And height is also a part of that, especially with a business trying to get a full logo sign in and then still additional lettering.
I'm assuming the Spectrum sign, since that's a relatively new business there, and I don't remember them asking for a variance, does meet the criteria of the 24 square foot. Granted, it only says Spectrum and not Spectrum Communication Services, Inc. or something like that,
I do believe it just says Spectrum. But those are things I can get for you. If that would be helpful, I can get, I do believe that we actually installed the Spectrum sign. And I can take a trip down and take some measurements of the existing signage, if that would be helpful.
I do think
do
that's
believe-
really relevant information.
I
Sure,
agree.
I can do that.
I guess the question is, Jeff, if we want to table this until we get more information.
Yeah. Carly, are you open to tabling this and picking it back up in 2 weeks? When's our next meeting, Allison?
It is. Let me pull up my calendar.
I gotta go to my calendar. Do the same.
I'm gonna
13th.
do- hold
April
on.
13th.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will get measurements on some of the other signs in the plaza, including the existing grapes and grains. Is there anything else I can bring with me next meeting?
I think that'll be the key, is a comparison from existing overall width to the new proposed width, and then the letter height of the surrounding white letters of the adjacent signs would definitely help.
Sure.
Well, and
I don't think,
not just the adjacent. Did you say that you did the St. Peter's sign as well?
We did. Yep. Both of them. There are two.
Substantial sign on both facades, on that one and also over by the PetSmart, are pretty significant. So I think that would be helpful as well.
Absolutely. No problem.
All right, we have a
Excellent.
plan then, right?
Yeah. All right, sounds good with that. Bill, do we need a motion for that, or can we just table it?
You can just table it for tonight. It'll be on the
Okay.
record.
What was that? Sorry.
It'll be on the record that you tabled it to the
Okay.
next.
All right, so with that, then we will table the public hearing for continuation on April 13th, 2021.
Hey, Jeff,
Thank you. Yes, Matt.
do you need to take any public comment since is there any public part of this? Should you do that? Or do you want to wait for all that till next meeting?
We could do both. It's a good point. I think we have two members of the public here tonight. Adam, if either of them wish to speak tonight, or they can hold their conversations, because we will do a continuation of the public hearing. There'll be a chance to speak then also.
Yeah, Jeff, I'll unmute them in turn. Mark Halsey just asked you to unmute if you have anything to say.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the chance to speak. I own Gene's Fish Fry across the street. Quite honestly, I thought you wanted to build a sign at the corner. So the fact that it's on the building just brings me great joy. Jamie's a great guy. I'm happy to, I hope you guys do, come up with a good decision. I have no opposition to him trying to better his business, as long as it meets the criteria that you set forth. You have my complete, willingness to give it my thumbs up. Not that it means a whole lot, but it's nice to see him succeed. So thank you. Thanks for inviting me. And you don't have to spend $6 to send me another letter for the 13th. So
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate the comment and feedback.
yes, thank you.
And Judy and Bill, I just sent you a request to unmute.
Hey, everyone. This is Judy and Bill Gilbo. We live our house is right next to Mavis. So we're right across from the plaza. And we were concerned too, like Mark was, that the sign might be going like on a corner or somewhere that would, interfere with us, with our house where it's located, between getting out of the driveway or just seeing, out beyond into the distance. We actually, both of us, like the sign that's proposed, and we have absolutely no problem with it. We think it'll be a good addition to the strip mall over there. So that's it for us. And again, we're like, Mark, don't bother sending us another letter, certified mail, because we're fine with what you guys are working on, and hopefully the liquor store will get the approval. So, okay.
Jeff, I mistakenly muted you there. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm used to it from you, Adam. I was wondering.
Sorry about
Thank
that.
you, Judy. We appreciate the comment tonight.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that heads up, Matt. And yeah, with that, we will adjourn this public hearing until April 13th.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
You're welcome. Anybody that wishes to leave, you can feel free to leave the meeting or stay on for the rest of our exciting agenda tonight. So thanks,
Thank you,
Carly.
guys.
Have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Carly.
See you soon.
All right, with that, let me jump back to, we will postpone the seeker until the next meeting, and we get the follow-up information also. So basically that brings us right back to our agenda and brings us down to approval of meeting minutes, which is just one on February 9th, 2021. Allison,
Yeah.
who's eligible?
Everyone.
Everyone. Excellent. Do I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes of February 9th?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Bob Seward. Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tom Hickey. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. With that, Adam, I think I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the public meeting. Scott?
I'll make
you
that
want
motion.
one?
I'll
All right,
take it.
Motion
Yep.
by Scott Stravell. Matt, you want the second?
Sure. Second.
Get him in the
By Matt
scorebook.
There you go.
It's the beginning of a new era, right?
Aye.
Oppose, abstain, motion carries 5-0.
Dog is barking, by the way.
All clear,
I
Adam?
think that's mine.
Yeah. Jeff, I'll stop the stream.
Okay, thank you. Kateri, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take
Thanks, Stephen.